The storm arrived without warning. The sky turned black. Thunder rolled through the city like an angry drum. Rain fell in heavy sheets. Wipers beat across the windshield but could not keep up. The streets blurred. Headlights smeared like fire. Inside the car sat Alexander Reed. Young, powerful, respected. The kind of man magazines placed on their covers. The kind of man boardrooms feared. But tonight he was just a man. A man driving too fast. A man lost in thought. His phone buzzed. Another message from the board. Another demand. Another weight on his shoulders. He turned his head for only a moment. Only one breath. And everything changed. The car skidded. Tires screamed. Water splashed like an ocean wave. Metal slammed against stone. The sound was like bones breaking. The world spun. Glass shattered into the night. Then silence. Pain ripped through his body. His legs were trapped. He tried to move but could not. Blood filled his mouth. Tears burned his eyes. And for the first time in years the CEO whispered not an order. Not a command, but a plea. Do not hurt me, please. I cannot walk. Paramedics pulled him from the wreck. Sirens screamed. The night swallowed him whole. In the hospital lights blinded him. Voices rushed around him. Machines beeped. Hands pressed against his chest. Then darkness. When he opened his eyes again the world was gone. No cars. No boardrooms. No freedom. Only white walls. Only the soft hum of machines. A doctor stood over him with pity in his eyes. The words came slowly. I am sorry, Mr. Reed. The accident has destroyed your legs. You will never walk again. The words cut deeper than any wound. The man who once ruled with strength, the man who stood taller than others, was now bound to a chair, bound to silence. Days turned to weeks. His penthouse became a cage. Curtains stayed closed. Lights stayed dim. Meals were delivered without words. Friends stopped visiting. Business partners sent papers but not care. The city below sparkled but it mocked him. He stared at his reflection one night. The chair, the scars, the broken man. Tears fell. His voice was raw. I am nothing. I cannot be saved. Do not hurt me. I cannot walk. In another part of the city life was smaller. Simpler. Ethan Hayes rose before the sun each day. He worked long hours with his hands. His back ached. His clothes were worn. But he never complained. Because every evening when he returned home a little girl waited at the door. Her name was Lily. She was 6 years old. Her smile was brighter than any lamp. Her laughter softer than any song. 3 years ago Ethan's wife had passed away. The illness came suddenly. It stole her in the night. He was left with a baby girl and a broken heart. At first Ethan wanted to give up. The weight was too heavy. The nights too long. But one morning little Lily touched his face with her tiny hand. Her eyes wide with fear. Do not leave me, Daddy. I need you. And so he lived. And so he worked. And so he smiled even when his chest ached. For her. Always for her. One afternoon fate placed Alexander and Ethan on the same road. Alexander forced himself out of his penthouse prison. He rolled into a coffee shop. The air was warm with roasted beans and chatter. But whispers followed him. People stared. The great CEO. Now broken. Now small. His chair caught on the uneven floor. It tipped. Gasps filled the room. No one moved. No one helped. Except Ethan. He rushed forward. Strong hands steady on the chair. He lifted it upright with ease. Alexander glared. His pride burned hotter than fire. I do not need your pity. Ethan's voice was calm. It is not pity. It is kindness. I just did not want you to fall. The words struck like lightning. Simple. True. No pity. A few days later Ethan approached again. To thank him Alexander offered advice on a small business matter. In return Ethan invited him to dinner. Alexander scoffed. Your home is not made for men like me. Ethan shrugged. My home is not made for many things. But it is made for love. And you will fit in just fine. That evening Alexander came. The house was small. The paint chipped. The floor old. But warmth filled every corner. And the smell of garlic and tomato drifted through the air. Lily ran forward. Her hair wild. Her smile brighter than the sun. Hi. You must be Daddy's new friend. Do you like spaghetti? It is my specialty. Alexander froze. He was used to cold silence. He was used to empty rooms. This child's joy cut through his soul. For a moment his lips curved. Almost a smile. Dinner was chaos. Plates clinked. Water spilled. Stories filled the table. Lily laughed so hard she fell from her chair. Ethan lifted her with a chuckle. Later Lily showed Alexander her drawings. One made his breath stop. It was a man in a wheelchair. A cape around his shoulders. A hero. That is you, she said. You are a superhero. Heroes do not always need legs. They just need heart. Alexander turned away. Tears burned his eyes. No one had ever called him that. He had only been called broken. Failure. Useless. But this little girl saw something else. That night he whispered in the dark. Maybe I am not finished. The days grew into weeks. Alexander returned to Ethan's home again. Then again. The silence of his penthouse was replaced with laughter. The coldness of his soul was warmed by kindness. Lily pulled him into games. She painted his chair with stickers. She made him wear paper crowns. She declared him king superhero of the living room. Ethan treated him not as a cripple. Not as a CEO. But as a man. An equal. A brother. One Sunday they went to the park. The sun stretched across the sky. Children ran. Kites flew. Music played from a distant radio. Lily held his hand. Come play superheroes with me. He shook his head. People will stare. Lily giggled. Let them stare. You are my hero. She tied a blanket around her shoulders. She pushed his chair in circles. She shouted. Superhero is flying. Superhero is saving the day. For the first time since the accident Alexander laughed. A deep laugh. A free laugh. The kind of laugh that heals. That night Ethan spoke softly. Do you see what she has done? She has given you back what life tried to steal. Hope. Soon Alexander began therapy again. He had refused before. Now he tried. Slowly. Painfully. Every movement a mountain. But Ethan stood beside him. Every step of the way. One morning Alexander returned to his company. The boardroom was full. Men and women whispered. They expected weakness. They expected defeat. He wheeled himself forward. Hands trembling. But in his palm he held courage. A small star Lily had drawn for him. She had pressed it into his hand that morning. For luck, she said. For strength. He spoke slowly. Yes, I cannot walk. But legs never built this company. My mind built it. My heart built it. And both are stronger than ever. The room fell silent. Then heads nodded. Respect returned. The CEO was back. That evening Alexander sat outside Ethan's home. The stars glowed above. The air was cool. Lily played with her toys. Ethan sat beside him. Alexander whispered. Do you know what you have done for me? Ethan tilted his head. What? Alexander's voice shook. You reminded me that I am still human. That I am not broken. That love can heal more than medicine. Ethan smiled. You are family now. And family never leaves. Lily climbed into Alexander's lap. She wrapped her tiny arms around him. You are stuck with us forever, Mr. Superhero. And Alexander wept. Not tears of pain. Not tears of loss. But tears of love. Of healing. Of a man who had found a home. He once whispered in despair. Do not hurt me. I cannot walk. Now he whispered with hope. Do not fear me. I can love. And I can live. For though his legs were still bound, his heart was free. And in that freedom he had found family. He had found life again.